We got a lot of catching up to do, so welcome to Silo Voice Wrestling on YouTube and the Silo Voice Wrestling podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. This is my WWE catch-up show, and I'm Jason C. McLean. Now, why I'm doing a catch-up show? Well, believe it or not, this currently unmonetized YouTube channel is not where I get my money. Maybe it will in the future, but professionally, I work for Haunted Montreal as an actor, a ghost tour guide, administrator, and this was the Halloween season, so I was incredibly busy, as you might understand. But I was still watching everything, and I did record a review of Crown Jewel Perth, which I really liked. I thought it was a great PLE, and I talked about the Raw after it. Now, I recorded that a few weeks ago, but I haven't done the editing yet. I haven't finished the editing yet, so my goal is to get that editing done and then to edit this and get them both out, or maybe this one first and that one shortly after. We'll see. So this is catching up from the, I guess you could say, because I talked about Raw on that one, from the October 17th WWE Smackdown, right up until the most recent Smackdown on Friday. That would be the November 7th. Now, that obviously includes some Smackdowns, some Raws, and Saturday night's main event. Now, I'm going to obviously talk about themes in this. I'm not doing a proper review of that show, but I will just say right now that that was, I think, the best Saturday night's main event since they brought the brand back late last year. Well, the first one was pretty good too, but that one was good because things actually happened on it. And it got me very excited because I found out that Saturday night's main event and SmackDown are coming to Montreal, where I live, at the Bell Center in January. My brother and I are going to get tickets for one or the other. I'm not really sure, but we're just waiting for the tickets to open up in the section we normally sit. Okay, here's our little trick. We always like to get tickets in the lower bowl because sightlines are great in the entire lower bowl of the Bell Center. Next to the, like in line with the ring, or not too far from the ring, but behind the hard camera, because when people do promos or even in tag matches, the performers are all playing to the camera. So they're playing to us. Yes, we're probably not going to end up on TV, but in the lower bowl high up, there's not a good chance of that happening. Anyways, I do always have these idea of signs I want to bring. I want to bring a Zayn 514, Sami Zayn Stone Cold reference. But anyways, more on that later. And whatever one I go to, I'm definitely going to do a review from there. Now for this, I'm not going to go through every single event that I missed or every single thing that happened. I'm just going to pick out a few main things that caught my attention, I guess big themes, starting with Jade Cargill, or should I say the newly heel-turned Jade Cargill, or the even more newly crowned WWE Women's Champion Jade Cargill. I think the heel turn was great. I think it was needed. The moment I saw it happening, though, I'm like, okay, she's winning. I think she's winning. And she did win pretty resoundingly. And on the last SmackDown, she cut that promo saying, yes, I'm that bitch. And she walked away. And then she turned her back on some of her friends, B-Fab and Meechin. But you know what? I see what they're doing here. Jade Cargill is going to have a bunch of squash matches against B-Fab, then probably Meechin, and probably other people. And eventually they're going to get up to someone who puts a bit of a challenge. Maybe that one goes 10 minutes. And I think eventually at WrestleMania, if she's well, Bianca Belair is the ultimate dream match for that one. She's the one who might ultimately beat Jade, or maybe even Jade will win. They'll have a feud. Yeah, it's kind of like how they booked her in AEW, I'm told. I didn't really watch AEW. But I think the problem there is they just had her squash everyone, and they didn't have opponents that within a few months that brought her a real challenge until eventually she was leaving, so they beat her. I think WWE is a lot smarter than that, and they're going to keep her with the dominant streak probably right up until just before WrestleMania. And then at Mania, they're going to give her some real opponents, maybe Bianca Belair. But you know what? After seeing her in the street fight at Evolution. Yeah, you know, she's great at being tough. I mean, yes, she has the look of the superhero, but she could also be dominant, and I think this is the right booking for her. Staying on, I guess, in the women's division of SmackDown, Chelsea Green just won the United States Championship. Woohoo! Now, yeah, Julia was not booked that great, but I think they made a mistake taking it off Chelsea in the first place, because it went to Zelina Vega, and then from Zelina Vega, it went to Julia. Not that many defenses. I mean, Julia is the longest reigning women's U.S. champion, but not that many defenses. Having Chelsea, she kept the same gimmick, so the gimmick goes really well with the belt. She's also a double champion. I guess the mixed gender championship, not sure what it's called, with Ethan Page from NXT. So that's good. He's part of the secret Hervis, I guess. I hope Piper Niven gets back soon, but I'm really happy Chelsea has this championship. I do hope they do something better with Julia, because her reign was not all that impressive. Staying with SmackDown stories, Cody Rhodes is still the undisputed WWE champion. I think they were going to do something with Jacob Fatu, maybe him and Drew, but they went with Drew and Cody again, because apparently Jacob Fatu has some medical need for dental surgery, having his teeth removed and put back in. Maybe that's why they took some of them out when he got injured. But we got another who attacked Jade Cargill type storyline. And my theory is that it's going to be Jimmy Uso, because his wife, Naomi, was the one who attacked Jade. So maybe it makes sense Jimmy's the one who attacked Jacob Fatu. That's just, I mean, I know it was implied by Drew, but I think it would be really funny if that was the case. I don't think it's not going to be Drew, because Drew's the obvious one. I don't think they're going to make it Cody, because I don't think they're going to turn Cody heel just yet. Although he did do something sort of heelish in the SNME match against Drew. That was a good match, and Drew's now suspended. So we'll see where they go with that. I think Drew's not out of that big picture. He's going to come back. I mean, it's kind of hard to have somebody like a series of matches, a blood feud, where one wins one wins the other, with the championship involved, especially if they don't want to play hot potato with the championship. And while they're a little bit more loose with it than they were with, say, Roman as the champion, I think giving it to Cena and back to Cody makes sense. If it's going to change hands again, it's going to be at WrestleMania. Maybe the Punk, but that's more on that later. Also on SmackDown exclusive stories, Aleister Black and Zelina Vega get mixed in with Cody. I don't think that's going to last, but I kind of like their new gimmick, although it's kind of like they've just given them the Karrion Kross and Scarlett gimmick with the entrance and everything. I know they're really married, but so are Karrion and Scarlett. I don't know, why didn't they just keep Karrion Kross? But whatever. I'm going to see where this goes. It could be interesting. Maybe a mixed tag match against Cody and Brandy Rhodes, but she just had a kid. I think Rhea Ripley's a little too big to team with Damian Priest in this feud against Zelina Vega, who she's already beat pretty resoundingly a while back. Before she was a mega over babyface, but she was world champion. We'll see where we go with that. And another SmackDown exclusive story is the U.S. Open Challenge. I think Sami Zayn lost it to Ilya Dragunov before I recorded my last video, but that wasn't mentioned in it. But I actually predicted that if Sami Zayn was going to lose the U.S. Open, the United States Championship, it was going to be either to, well, if Kevin Owens returned, I don't think he will, but Obafemi or Ilya Dragunov, not knowing what Ilya's condition was. And when I heard Ilya's music, I think Sammy's losing. And you know what? Ilya's continued the tradition. The U.S. Open Challenge is still the best part of SmackDown. And it involves a bunch of mid-carders, but right now, he brushed off Tommaso Ciampa 2 weeks in a row. Pretty sure Ciampa is going to be the next opponent. Might get involved with the MFTs, though I think Sammy's clearly in the MFT storyline. I think they're going to keep him in that until maybe just before the SmackDown and SNME in Montreal, which is a week before the Royal Rumble. I still think he's going to win the Royal Rumble and go for the World Heavyweight Championship. But of course, the little snag in that is Seth Rollins doesn't have it anymore. So let's move over to Raw. The big story, CM Punk is the World Heavyweight Champion. Now, if somehow they do maybe have Sammy versus Punk in Montreal, they're just trying to see if there's any way they could get CM Punk booed, because Sammy in Montreal is like Punk in Chicago. Also, Sammy in Saudi Arabia is like Punk in Chicago. But anyway, it's like some certain people have a real strong connection to their hometown. Yeah, Cody gets cheered in Atlanta because he's from Atlanta, but I don't think he has that, that's the one place in the world where he'll never get booed kind of thing going. But yeah, so CM Punk, oh, by the way, my Saturday night's main event, I did do a prediction short that I released very quickly, just saying who was going to win without going into details, and I got all of them right. And it did make sense that CM Punk would win. I thought there might be some shenanigans, but no, there weren't. He won clean. In the Battle Royal leading up to it, I loved him on commentary, especially making the joke about who are our new tag team champions, Team AJ Lee. But yeah, I think it's great that Punk is champion. I think ultimately he might maybe lose it to Braun Breaker or someone before Rumble, or before Mania at least, because I really see him fighting Cody at Mania. I think this is the year they're going to pull the trigger on that one. And I think he's going to do that maybe by winning Elimination Chamber after Sammy wins the Rumble. And that doesn't work with him as World Heavyweight Champion, but you don't want to make it a short reign either. I'm really glad. I think he's going to be a great champion. Bringing Logan Paul into the mix, that was just setting up War Games. I thought for a second maybe they were going to make the MFTs the War Games thing after Seth got injured, but and was written out. But no, I think they're still going with the vision. Looks like it's going to be Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, and for other teammates, I'm pretty sure they're going to bring in Brock Lesnar through Heyman. If they keep it at 4, it'll be that. If they're bringing in a 5th one, I don't know, maybe Drew McIntyre or someone, or maybe Austin Theory, as people have suggested. That's your 5. And Austin Theory might actually join the Vision, whereas Lesnar would simply be there for that one event. The other side, I think it's going to be obviously CM Punk, Jey Uso, maybe just bring in Sami Zayn, because Sami and Jey Uso have actually been on the winning side of the last 3 War Games since they started doing War Games on the main roster. And John Cena, obviously, and someone else, maybe Roman, like last year, maybe Jimmy Uso. We don't know. Also, speaking of, I guess, championships and War Games, it looks like they're heading for Rey Mysterio versus the Intercontinental and the AAA champion, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, in San Diego, their hometown. I thought they were setting up for, Dom versus Cena. But when Rey came out in New Mexico on the last Raw, I was like, okay, no, this is the match. Yeah. San Diego, the 2 of them. This might be Rey's last match. Actually, quite looking forward to that one. I think it's going to be a total barn burner. I still think Dom is ultimately going to turn babyface, but maybe only right around when Liv Morgan comes back and he breaks from the Judgment Day. Who knows? Maybe he'll beat Rey, and then Rey will like shake his hand or something. Maybe that's how he'll turn complete babyface, because he's still a heel, depending on who you put in the ring with him. But even doing the heel stuff, like at SNME cheating, he's so clever in it. It's like Eddie Guerrero style. And that line about "get my father's name out of your mouth" when Rey mentioned Eddie Guerrero, that was just great. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Dom's going to be a babyface soon enough, and I'm definitely looking forward to that match. As for the Women's World Championship scene, Stephanie Vaquer is still doing great. I think that Nikki Bella maybe is going to turn on her, because both Judgment Day opponents really aren't really maybe at that level for like a main event match, but her versus Nikki Bella could be good. Maybe one of the Judgment Day people, I don't know. Becky Lynch, she's, I guess, been given a bit of a break, but she's coming back now. I think we are going to have her versus Maxine Dupree. I mean, even though this kind of championship maybe is more meant for someone like Maxine Dupree, I think there's going to be some interference or something. And I think we might get AJ Lee returning, who is also on a break. And Rhea and Io have been on a break too, but I think maybe they've earned it. Like, I think after Australia, they did Japan. They're going to be coming back. And I think ultimately we're going to get Rhea in that title picture, or maybe Io at WrestleMania against Stephanie, although Stephanie's still an incredibly over babyface. And I do like what they're doing with the women's tag team titles. I mean, they should maybe focus a little bit more instead of with singles matches, but I think we're going with the Kabuki Warriors versus Charlotte and Alexa. And I think the Kabuki Warriors might actually win, have a run with the title. Then maybe that's what's going to bring Rhea and Io back, become tag team champions for a bit. Who knows? But as far as the men's tag team titles, I mean, I've been watching it. Nothing's really struck me, the tag team scenes on Raw or SmackDown. I mean, yes, it's fun that Team AJ Lee has the belt and the Judgment Day lost it again, but hasn't really caught my attention. And I'm also interested in the Bayley and Lyra stuff. Be interesting to see where that goes. But overall, that's my recap on some of the things I've noticed over the past few weeks as I've been watching. Do you agree with my opinions? Is there stuff you think I really should have gone into more detail about that overlooked? Because I'm sure once I'm editing this, I'm going to realize there's something I completely forgot to mention, but that's how it goes. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Follow at Silo Voice Wrestling on Facebook and Instagram, at Silo Wrestling on X, and me at Jason C. McLean on X and Instagram. Also, jasoncmclean.bsky.social on Bluesky. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications for all my wrestling hot takes, cold takes, simmering takes, WWE Premium Live Event prediction and review videos, assorted thoughts on Raw and Smackdown. And my regular content should resume. Okay, let's see. If you're seeing this like early in the day on Monday, and you have also seen the edited version of my, not SN, I mean, my Crown Jewel Perth, my late posting of that, then you have every means to expect an assorted thoughts on Raw Tuesday or maybe Wednesday. If you're seeing this a bit later, I might add a little thing talking about Raw, but who knows? But my regular content should resume. Thank you for bearing with me. And it should definitely keep going full force. And I'm going to start a Patreon soon because I think if I had some money, I'd be able to hire an editor because it's really the editing that takes a long time. Regardless, I'll catch you next time for Silo Voice Studios in Montreal. I'm Jason C. McLean.